Hello out into the world and welcome to Gafti Gaming. You might consider this cheating, but I can grant you the other AIs, they will definitely use this, so you might consider using this as well. Today we're going to play Humankind and I'm going to teach you a little bit on how to play the game, how to master the game on higher difficulties. What I plan to do is make a little bit of a tutorial series out of this. Today we're going to talk about the Neolithic era, how to start the game, how to go into the ancient era, and what to keep track on in this Neolithic era. So we're going to play a new game. Just press play new game. You can choose here your own avatar or any other that you like. I just made my own. We're going to play on a large map, Pangea map. Everything else is standard. And we're going to play on normal speed, and of course on humankind difficulties. Now granted, if you're a little bit new to the game, you would probably like to choose Metropolis. Metropolis is a very nice medium difficulty that makes it easy for you to get to know the game, to understand the game, and get a little bit into it. You can play on the lower difficulties if you want to have it even easier. You could choose Nation or Empire if you're maybe a little bit more comfortable with the game, if you like a little bit more of a challenge, or Civilization and Humankind if you already know other 4X games, if you already played them. Well, if you played Civilization, obviously play on Civilization. If you like to play Humankind, you should probably play on Humankind. Well, just kidding. Well, I like the challenge, so that's why I'm playing on Humankind. To play as hard as possible. Yeah, so let's get into it. Now in the beginning of the game, you start with only one unit. This one unit is a tribe. This tribe has a special ability, or is a nomad. So it's a special unit that gathers food throughout fighting and ransack in order to multiply. So this is the only unit in the game that can actually by itself without building anything else. You would like to gather food in order to get a new tribe to multiply this tribe. Then you have two. You can send those two out into the world in different directions, explore a little bit more, find more food, and like this you can exponentially grow your nomadic tribes. You can see here next to my tribe, I need 20 food in order to get the next tribe, so I need to collect those food. Collecting food is also one of the possibilities in order to get into the next era. So you can see up here that I need one era star. At the moment it's gray. You can see that I don't get it yet. I didn't get it yet. And I get one of those era stars, one of those three, in the way that I grow. For example, to get the growth star, I need 5 tribes in order to get the growth star. I can find um, curiosities, which will give me science. So I need to collect 10 science from curiosities to get a star. Or I can kill deers or other animals that are running around, mammoths, for example. And if I hunt 5 animals, then I will also get a star and go into the next era. The most easy way is probably the growth star. That's most of the cases that you will advance with the growth star. And that's just due to the fact that in order to kill a lot of animals, you need a lot of units. So you will want to get more units. In order to find more curiosities, you need more units. So you want to get more units. So that's why, first of all, you need to grow your population in order to also get the other two. Now, there's a little bit of an exploit here that I would like to explain you. You can see here there's a small button that's called Auto Explore, and if I put the Auto Explore on, the AI of my tribe will actually know where to go in order to collect a curiosity or a food source, or even find a sanctuary of an animal lair that I could ransack in order to get more food. And I guess this is an error of the game. It's probably basically due to the fact that the developers, with the pathfinding algorithm, they didn't consider the visibility range. So this is what I can see right now. Everything else is the fog of war. But basically, you can see the map is huge. So they didn't consider the fog of war. So the tribe person basically knows where to go in order to find the next curiosity. I can show you that off. I will just put it on and you can see it goes directly onto the hill to the next curiosity that it can find. And now I already got 1 science and 5 influence out of this. So you might consider this cheating, but I can grant you the other AIs, they will definitely use this. So you might consider using this as well, especially on the higher difficulties. Um, I like to explore myself, especially because I found the pathfinding not to be that ideal. So there's another curiosity that I found. You can see another science, another 5 influence. Now, what do you do with the science and the influence? The science, other than that you need to collect the science in order to get an era star and go into the next era, the science will actually be going into the next era with you. So if you collect the 10 signs, you might even have a big chunk of the first technology researched even before you put a turn into it. So that's important to know. The science you collect here is not wasted. You go with it into the next era. And the influence, you can see it up here on the right, is also a very important basic resource that you can gain uh, now in the Neolithic era by finding curiosities, but later also by buildings and so on. And this influence is actually important to expand your territory. So you can see those yellow, or sorry, white dotted lines, and those white dotted lines, they are your territories. And every territory needs to be claimed by your tribe by building an outpost. So you can see here with the tribe, I can put claim outpost, a claim territory, and build an outpost. And by building this outpost, you can see finding the outpost will cost me 5 influence. I will claim this territory. You can see that the white dotted line, now I will switch the different territories. You can see the white dotted line will move up to the blue dotted line to indicate that this is a blue territory now that is claimed by me, the blue player, because that's my color, right? Okay, but I don't want to build this territory yet. I'm going to explore a little bit more. So you can see that we actually discovered a natural wonder here. And those natural wonders you can discover. And by discovering natural wonders, you will actually gain fame. So you can see here now I already have 50 fame. And this is because by finding a natural wonder, you complete a world deed. You can see if you click on your small icon here on the left, you can go into the era screen, and here on the right side you can see competitive deeds. Those competitive deeds, they are like one-time challenges that you need to complete in order to gain era score. And if I look at them, you can see there's like a whole bunch of different ones, but quite a few of them are finding natural wonders. So you can see here, wonderful Kiva Egen, be the first to discover Kiva Egen, KY Egen, sorry, you get 50 fame. So by finding these different natural wonders, you can actually accumulate a lot of fame early game, but only the one who was able to discover it first will be able to get this bonus. Also, what the natural wonder is doing is it will give you effects. So you can see down here natural wonder control effects, +5 influence, +10 stability on city outpost, and +10 money on city outpost. So if I claim the territory where the natural wonder is situated in, I will get those bonuses. So you definitely want to get these natural wonders, especially early game. 5 influence is a lot. 10 money is a lot of money that you can use early game. So this is something that you definitely want. And also it gives me an effect of +1 industry and +1 vision range. So as I discovered this, I will also get an extra industry and vision range on my units. I will fight this deer in order to get some food and some influence. Now I will talk about the battle system in a different video probably, where we have a little bit of more units to look at. But basically it's important to stay on the high ground, to attack down into rivers, to not stand on rivers, and like this killing this one deer is pretty easy, but later in the game when there's bigger fights happening, you will see how the battlefield expands and it actually gets more interesting. So we got 5 food and 5 influence out of this. So now our hunting party has 5 food and it needs another 15 in order to grow. I've been quite unlucky by finding no food resources other than the one up here that I ignored. There's a sanctuary I can ransack. So now you can see this small message icon, and this is an event. So you can see there's a narrative events that pop up somewhat randomly. Somehow you can also trigger them in certain ways, and they will give you interesting choices in order to change your game. So you can see here, I found another tribe burning their house, or their house was burning, and I can choose either to chase the people who were fleeing this house, so I will get a new army, which is called refugees, next to my hunting party. And the other choice that I have is I can extinguish this house and use the signs that I find in there in order to lower the research cost of city defense, which is a technology I can um, research later on. I will choose the chase one because I was not very lucky to find any food, so I want to definitely get more people, and I will actually use this guy to ransack the sanctuary. So the sanctuaries, they are like the starting point of animals, and as you were able to see, it was a small peace symbol on there, just like you see a small peace symbol here on the deer. So this peace symbol indicates that the deer is a peaceful animal and it will not choose to attack you if you do not attack it. And then in the next round, we will get another 2 signs, and there's the era star unlocked for the knowledge. I know there's another curiosity here, so I'm also going to collect that signs plus 3 signs and plus 5 influence. That's amazing. That's very huge. And another narrative event, Tribe's Legacy. So if you actually find that's a narrative event that gets triggered by the amount of signs that you collect. So this for the science one is pretty interesting because you can get different bonuses throughout the whole game. So for example, if I choose makers here, I can get the Waddle and Dot legacy trait, and this will give me +1 industry per population on city outpost throughout the entire game. So this is a very powerful way of gaining industry. Um, I can also choose farmers in order to get more food, or I can choose astronomy in order to get more science. And I guess I would actually like the science early on into the game. Now I did spend a few more turns exploring the terrain, and you can see I found a very huge desert here, not very easy to inhabit. But what I also managed to do is I managed to get the Grove Star as well, so I grew to up to 5 population. I managed to get quite a lot of science, and I almost managed to get the Hunter Star. I will need to kill another deer in order to get that. So maybe I can also get that, and with this then I will be able to have all 3 stars accumulated in this era. Now of course advancing into the next era that late comes with quite a few disadvantages. So if I hover over the fame here, you can see that I have 110 fame because I got all the different era stars. I accumulated quite a lot of fame, and I'm top of the game at the moment, but most of the other cultures, they already went into the next era. You can see only the one in the second place, the red ones, and the one in the 10th place, the orange one, are not in the next era yet. You can see I have the era star, so I will be able to go into the next era. You also see the black and the brown ones, they both have the era star, so they are also able to go into the next era. And there's also the green, yellow, pink, purple, and turquoise. They already have 7 era stars there, so you can see like this that they are already in the ancient era. And why do I know this? Because from the ancient era on, you need 7 era stars in order to get into the next era that follows the ancient era. So like this, you can already see how many people were advancing into the next era and how many are still left. So the trade-off that you have to do here is that the more AIs advance into the next era, the more cultures are picked. So if I want to play a certain culture, then I would like to advance a little bit earlier, because now you can see most of the cultures, they are already picked by the AI and I cannot choose them anymore. So if you want to keep your options open, you should definitely advance earlier than I just did. It's turn 13. That's very, very late in this speed with this difficulty. So you definitely do not want to wait that long. I have basically 3 more choices left. I can play the Babylonians, which is a science civ. I can play the Phoenicians with which is a money civ, or the Zoe, which has stability, but also the Confucian school, which is very powerful next to mountains for science. So as you can see, the choices are limited at the moment because I was advancing very, very late, but I was able to get a lot of fame out of it. And by getting this fame, I was actually able to get the top of the ladder here, even it's the highest difficulty. So it depends which kind of civilizations you want to play. I'm just looking a little bit here if I have mountains around, and it looks like we have quite a few mountains around here. There's another mountain there. So it would maybe, there's a lot of mountains here with the territory which I can claim. It would probably make sense to go with the Zoe to found a few outposts, claim this territory, and then go with the Zoe. Now, claiming territory you can do by building the outposts. So here, if I select the tribe, you can see there's claim territory, and with this I can build an outpost. The game is actually suggesting me where to put it, so I can invest 5 of the 100 influence that I have. You can see the influence is a resource here that you get through these curiosities that I collected. I got quite a lot of influence, so I have a few influence points stacked up, and with 5 influence I can claim my first outpost, and this outpost is going to build in 3 turns. And this depends on the amount of production that the outpost produces. You can see this outpost needs 35 production in order to be established, and I do 10 food probably here, or something like this, 8 food. And with this food that I get, I will need 3 turns in order to establish this outpost. So I'm also going to choose my culture now because I do not want to wait any longer. I'm going to choose the Zoe. And by choosing this, you end the Neolithic era as soon as you hit end turn. So that's basically it for the Neolithic era. In the next episodes, we are going to look how to make a city out of our outpost, how to exploit the territory around the city, and how to expand our empire. I hope you liked this video about the Neolithic era. If you did so, please press the like button. If you would like to see more tutorials like this, please press the subscribe button. If you would like to leave a comment, if you would like to do any annotations, please leave a comment. I would like to get in touch with you guys. And you will see now here a video that YouTube recommends to you. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.